Hello and welcome to Farm Radio. Today we have a couple things going. What you see here on top is a major record player, and below it is the Panasonic RA-7500 we picked up. No shortage of issues with this down here. I'll get to that in a minute. I may include both in this video. I'm not sure yet, but every time I try to get something done, another patient shows up, so to speak. So this major, I bought offline. It came in with some shipping damage, of course. I am buying less and less online, and little lubrication. It performed flawlessly, actually. But one of the screw mounts needed to be glued, so I did glue it. I did reattach it. You can hardly even tell, but still. But now I went to use it, and the sound is all distorted. It's almost like the vapors from the glue got into the transistor or something like that. So there's no schematic. It has a little 2-transistor amplifier, or 3-transistor. I don't know whether they're PNP, NPN, what they are. I could just put a small signal transistor in, but I need to know the polarity. So we may get to this in a separate video or bang it out during this one. I'm not sure. But that's the major record player with now some major distortion. We'll set that aside. The Panasonic we picked up, the seller said it doesn't power up. He doesn't want to get into it. What I think it is, and you can tell just by a close examination, is this has been in a very, very damp location. I'll call it the oxidation station here. The speaker terminals have visible signs of little rust on them. So this has been someplace very damp, and it did power up for me, and I may power it up in a second, but the power switch has no continuity. It powered up and it flickered a few times and came on. The power came on, it flickered a little bit and then did stay on, but on meaning it lit up. It had no AM, no FM, slight noise and one channel in the headphones. That's about it. This thing is just it's just all over the place. What I'd like to do is I'm just going to hit the power switch with some deoxit. I think it's all oxidized. I'm going to try to get the power switch to come back to life, because it's an odd power switch, meaning Panasonic, of course. It's not just a power switch. When it's on, it connects the mains to the power transformer. When it's off, it has another set of connections that when you shut it off, feeds the base of a transistor in the preamp section. I'm guessing to mute the popping, during power off or something like that. It has to have something to do with that, because it feeds the preamp. I do have a schematic. It's not the best legibility wise, but it's enough to get us started. And it did show me what this power switch is all about. It has 4 connections on it. 2 that are connected when you power it on, and 2 that are connected when you power it off. So here's where I'm talking about. The power comes in, goes through one half of the power switch here, shown in the off position. And while that one is off, this one over here is on. I don't know what exactly is going on here, but it goes down to one of the 2 preamplifiers, or I believe over here. So here we are on the inside with our 2 brown leads for the transformer. Then we have this yellow and this black. And I believe it just grounds, the black is ground, I'm pretty certain, and it just grounds the base of that transistor. Haven't followed it through yet, but Yeah, so right now this switch has no continuity. On either side, it did on the lesser side, I'll call it, but now it has no continuity on either. First thing I'm going to do before the power switch is I'm going to hit this record switch here. And I don't spray. I used to spray. I don't spray anymore. I'm just going to wet the phenolic. It's like a sponge. It's shrunk, and that's what causes most of the connection problems. And of course the juice will get in where it needs to. Alright, it's hard to do one hand, so I'm going to complete this. Okay, I got some. About a million connections on this switch, so strange things happen. Alright, and I have to work the switch, so I'll continue with that. And I'm also going to get some in the power switch, which is over here. I don't know how sealed this switch is. I may have to get into this from the front, which I'm going to end up doing, but I'm trying to not get too deep right now. I don't want this to be an 8-part series. I just want to see it turn on. Okay, the power is on. Got it on a snap switch over here, so let's see if it comes on. See, nothing. That's the oddest thing, because it did work a tiny bit. I could even heat those connections up with the soldering iron, and that might increase the odds of this switch starting to work again. You can jump across it. I'll show you how to make it come on in a second. The switch connections are right there, so now if I hit the power, this will come on. I have taken current measurements. It's only drawing 25 watts. It's a 150 watt unit, 105 watt unit. So anyhow, nothing gets hot. Dead silent. I thought the belt was missing on the cassette player, but it's operating. Yeah, maybe slipping a little bit there. Okay, we have cassette. Again, radio is all over the place. Maybe the switch. Put some more juice in there, and it's a shame we can't get this power to come on its own. Okay, that seems to have done the trick. I was able to get into the very corner top tab of that power switch, and now it powers up with the power switch. You can see I still have some connection problems here, but I do have sound in both channels. It's crispy though. Still no stations. We had no FM action the other day, so not that I want to. I'm afraid I'm going to have to remove the panel to get at the rest of these switches here. There's not nothing on FM. I might attribute it to the front panel. Not a peep. Oh, we'll do that next. I'll do a visual on the bottom of all the connections here to see if there are any dry solder. And we have a lock washer here, and no lock washer there. No lock washers on top. I just want you to see there's two there on that IC. Those are very bad. There are others throughout. There's a few on this one. I'll go around and check. But, oh, that's the output IC also, so that's very important. Cold solder like that, running things with cold solder like that, especially at high frequencies, like transmitters or whatever, you could do damage to the component by the poor connections. It just raises havoc with the component itself, and it can take it out. Okay, well that's that for the moment. We're going to get to these switches also. It also wouldn't surprise me if this unit needs nothing except some doctoring and cleaning of the switches. Yes, capacitors if you want to, but I don't think that's going to be an issue here. I just want to go down the line here, but mostly every input on here is cracked, including the speakers. So I can't imagine someone buying one of these, working off of online auction and just assuming that, oh, it works. This stuff needs to be serviced, and if you're buying something that's not serviced, well, that's on you. Okay, furthermore, there's also 3 on the volume knob, volume control, I should say. All cracked, all 3 of them. Okay, 15 and 16 of the IC701 is right here. I can't tell 15 and 16 what these switches are yet, but it was these 2 right here. Hardly any connection. So after touching up the solder and checking our work, we're getting a little better. A hint of a sound on AM, no FM still. I have not cleaned these switches yet, but I'll show you where we're at. So we power on. I'm still only getting a left channel, no right channel. I swear I was getting it before in the headphones, so we'll try with the speakers here. There's no right channel. So that holds true. And we'll try the record switch real quick. But again, now we're hearing no right channel. And there's no right channel here in our record level. Oh yeah, there is. Okay, so it is in the finals. It is in the finals. We have both channels on the early stages, but maybe just the balance control. We'll get to that. So AM, some sign of life, but it's not. Still not up to par.
Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com.
And FM should get something. But there's nothing. So no FM. No FM. No right channel. I threw a tape in. Let's see what happens when we switch over to tape. Still no right channel. Our belt's slipping, but promising. So, we have sound in both meters. We're losing the right channel somewhere. Right channel. So we'll have to check in and around 701 either side. Hopefully they didn't blow the STK here. It's not hot. So here's our STK 459. Of course, it doesn't tell you which one's left or right. We'll have to figure that one out. But so your input is pin 1 and pin 16, and left seems to be pin 1 on this, right is 16, and we got nothing on 16. I'm going to verify the input in a moment, but there's nothing coming out, I feel. So we're going to check for signal at pin 16. A quick test is pin 1. You can hear my finger. 16, there's a doornail. It's a shame the chip is bad, but that's what it's looking like. We have to take a minute and figure out why this is my little test setup here, measuring the input to the IC, and I have confirmed that sound is going in both left and right channels. So chip guy is very suspect. I think chip guy is gone. Anyway, I keep losing my test device. Well, real quick, that's the good channel left. Here's right over here. And we have it on both. So it's going in the chip, but it's not coming out of the chip. That's our right channel. Left, of course, nothing. Right. I've seriously only used these for about 40 years, and if I flip the switch, it'll come back on. But it'll fade out. The battery's good. I'm almost thinking I gotta recap my test equipment here. There's something wrong with this. It'll fade out and come back. I can't have that. Can't have your test equipment questionable. Anyway, the goal here is to check the inputs of this IC, which are good. So that means everything ahead of it is fine. I did put a shot of deoxide on my switch here. Maybe the switch is just dirty, but I'm real suspect of this thing. Okay, that'll do it. See, just went off. Flip the switch, it comes back on. All I did was, I'm going to check under this circuit board a minute. So the output is 7 and 10 respectively. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Much louder as you see. 7, 8, 9, 10. DC hum. The chip is... That chip is gone. That's too bad. See what we can get one for. Hopefully, well, it'll probably be a Chinese knockoff, but we'll see what we can come up with. Here's a couple of little caps there, electrolytic C709 and C710, 47 at 25, but those aren't going to be the issue. You may replace them, but We'll check them in circuit. But yeah, chip is on its way. That just provides some feedback. As far as my little test amplifier here, it's still all over the place. It gets real loud. I've tried jumping some caps. There's a bad cap or a transistor here. Like I say, you gotta test the test equipment. So you move it around and it just is driving me crazy here. So here we are on the radio, the FM section, the mixer, RF amp, mixer, oscillator, and like I said, we have some AM. I assume this is the signal meter over here. FM detector, FMIF, band converter. I'm assuming there's something in the front end here. I'll show you why. I can tune the circuit with my hand, of course. This is IC 201 right here. Next to it's, this is 20. This is IC 202 here. Oh, come on, I had you a minute ago. And I have some action on the meter.
This is News Radio 580 at 94.9 FM, WTA and WTA Worcester. Orange radio station.
0.75%. Central Bank is wrapping.
Another dial on 96. So just the capacitance of my hand is tuning.
The Dow, the S&P 500 stack all closing in positive.
And the signal meter has some action.
Anthony Fauci testing positive, but his symptoms are said to be mild. Fauci will continue working to isolate.
Oh yeah, fun. So we'll stop here. Wait for our chip to come in, our amplifier there, our STK459 down there. FM, yeah, something, of course, it's in the can here. And I think I have another one of these receivers I just discovered, so we're going to pull that one out and do some diagnosing with that one as well. Yeah. This one is a boatload of errors. No bargains here. There's our green discharge on our Dolby capacitors. This has the same Dolby circuit as a similar 8-track unit. Anyhow, what to do here with the FM? I could take voltages and whatnot, but no,
Above the knee. 2 fingers and sustained injuries to his right forearm.
I think the transistor in the front end is something in the front end here. Again, moisture related, who knows? Knobs are off. Here we are with the front panel off. I don't even want to be in this far. I want to get in this and out of it. I cleaned the tape deck a little. I'm not even staying in here. I got some deoxit down all the switches. I wet these, all the switches, and I'm going to put this right back. Well, it's not quite a taste of heaven, but if you want a little taste of hell, try getting this control panel off, back on, and the cassette door all functional without breaking any of it. This is where we'll sign off our slipping cassette deck. And no, still no FM. Completely quiet. AM.
Positive with us.
AM is tuning.
Noise Mansons. 710.
Signal meter. Signal meter. And FM. Completely dead. We're talking mixer, oscillator. Something up front is out. Quick update on the Panasonic RA-7500 with no FM, we'll say, has a host of other problems as well. We've ordered a belt kit for the cassette, and going on to the FM, let me back up. I ordered the belt kit for the cassette deck and the amplifier IC, which will be in any time. In the meantime, I'm trying to troubleshoot this no FM scenario, and I'm without taking voltages. I've written down the voltages for each. The RF amplifier, which is a FET. I have Q102 under the radar. That's the mixer. That's the mixer right here. Q102. I think I've had trouble with this in the past, and I'm going by other folks' videos and even my own. In the past, this seems to have been the culprit, so I've got my eyes on him. I don't believe it's the oscillator. Again, I'll take some voltage measurements down the road. But in the meantime, we invited another one to the party. We have this one here. It's got its share of issues, I'm sure, but this one was out on a flea market table at the end of the show. It was out in the rain. You can see the rust from the screws out in the rain. I think I paid just a few dollars for it. So hopefully the FM, we'll plug this and try this in a minute. Hopefully the FM in this one works enough and may transplant by jumper or other means the tuner. There's only, I think, 5 leads. AFC, B+, of course, probably ground, I'm not sure. IF out and stuff like that. So we're going to look into this one while we wait on this one. So we'll power this up and see if this receives FM or not. Okay, number 2 looks pretty good inside. Have the speakers attached and an external antenna. Power on. Speaker A. Volume down. We'll start with AM. Balance in the middle. Let's see if we get both speakers. Let's see how number 2 performs. I've seen some folks, we have the Variac here, but I've seen folks bring up solid state receivers on Variacs, and I was told that's not the thing to do. You don't put solid state on Variacs to power them up. And I did that once by mistake, and on a Fisher, and it made some god awful humming, and if it runs too low, you can actually destroy some of the circuits. That's what I was told, and I can't elaborate with the gentleman because he's no longer with us. But no Variac on solid state equipment. So we're just gonna hit it here. No right channel. What is going on here? Tell me it's us ruining the channel here. Power down. Just going on with our right channel speaker over here? Okay, I hope. Okay. We have two without a right channel? That's bizarre. That would be quite bizarre. Our speaker tests good, so power up again here, see what's going on. No right channel. Another one with no right channel. Could be a dirty switch, but what are the chances? What are the chances of that? Well, in any event, what we came to do here, FM. This one appears to be tuning. We have stereo. And stereo, let's try FM auto. There we go.
Brands may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to
Beautiful.
serious infections.
As usual, like the car, the rec usually performs better than the, no, we have only one channel. Yeah, we have no right channel here. And that's early, so that means it may not be the amplifier on this one. This just has no right channel. That could be the record switch here. Worked out a couple times here. Still no right channel here. And this is early on, so this is in the preamp section where there's no right channel. Could be the volume control. I'm not too worried about it. Oh, covering the mic there. I'm not too worried about it. It's early on if it's not showing on the record level, because the record level gets its signal early on. Okay, so that'll do it for testing of this second unit. I don't think it's the output IC on this one. We could check, but it looks like there's no signal. Alright, there's no signal at the I've lost everything here. Okay, I have this thing wide open for the moment on AM, and if I do the balance, you can hear left, right. So I do have output in both channels, except there's no signal. I'm going to attribute it to the record switch. I'll hit that with some deoxit and check right back. So it's coming back on its own here. Okay, and now we have no left channel. We have right channel, but that's okay. It's in this case, I'm going to cite the input. Okay, we'll deal with that later. Baseline on this, very good. Everything appears to be functional. Again, it could be cold solder underneath. We don't know. We haven't been into this one, but the radio works. So I'm thinking of doing is I could take this tuner, this front end, out of this, which I don't want to. I may just pigtail it over. There's 2 connections there and 4 there, so a total of 6. Because this thing's on the other one has to be taken apart anyway to get to the transistors to even test the voltage. This is where we're looking, right in there. Okay, it seems to be the selector switch here that's dirty on this. I have both channels in the meters, as you can see, and I have right and left. in stereo. So this unit is operating like the other one should at the moment. Okay, that's it for now. Suppose while we're at it, we could try the tape player. The belt is intact. So power on here, power on over here. I'm going to switch to tape. Let's try a little fast forward action. A rewind action. A little sluggish. Play. Alright. A little slippage going on here. I'm good with that. Both channels, left and right. This one's turning out to be the winner. Okay, that'll do it for the moment. Okay, welcome back to Farm Radio. We did get one of our parts in. We have the, looks like the IC, the output IC. And it's all stapled together. But in any event, we'll install that. Isn't that nice? They even give you a heatsink compound with it. So we don't have to go digging for that. Okay, we'll open this up, set it aside, get ready, get the unit ready, get the old one desoldered, and get on with it. So this is supposed to be original Sanyo, not a knockoff. And there's a date code of 7904. So, okay. So we'll get ready to at least play on 2 channels. Okay, I have the bottom cover removed, and that's the area we'll concentrate on, IC 701. Okay, I believe everybody is free. Now the fun begins, getting at the 2 screws to undo the amplifier chip. Again, all the chip legs are loose. Okay, so we'll just pop that out. In some cases it's easiest to just cut the legs off, cut the component, and deal with the removal later, but in this case we'll just take the whole chip. As soon as I can grab it here. There's an audio cable or something going right underneath this as well. I'll have to line the screw holes up before actually soldering it in, because that will get you. It'd be a shame to solder it all in and not be able to mount the darn thing. Usually you can see a bubble or something in them, or a crack, or, but I don't see anything. Well, I'll look at it under magnification. It could be a little crack there. You can usually see where the magic smoke comes, or the little puff of whatever. Anyway, get some heatsink compound and get our new one in there. We'll just get a shot while we're in here. There's 7 capacitors in the area, and there's only that one 4.7 at 50. I'd like to see what that is. And there's 3 under the signal cables there. There we are, all cleaned up. Put it right in after some heatsink. Very little room for error here. I'm just dry fitting it on the opposite side to make sure our component leads match up. And always said, I'm going to scrape the leads. It's an original part. We're going to scrape the leads with the X-Acto and install. There's a very similar date code to the original. 4509, 459 C113A. I could wipe that off, but C113 and C2A1. Part may actually be older, who knows. Alright. I like these little single-use packets. I'll have to scan that QR code and see what comes up. Any event, anyway, a little spreader here. Some on each surface, and okay, onward we go. There's always one. First time in, straight shot, we missed one leg, but they're all in now. Alright, I was able to find my insanely long screwdriver to drive this one home. And same with the other one. There she is, all installed, ready to go. Soldering. Can now proceed. Okay, there we are. Soldered in. I'll give it a quick view and clean up. Even with a bad tip here, bad meaning the solder doesn't stick to the end, but I've tried cleaning it. It still beats the one off the web there, which is okay, but some of the tips didn't fit. It takes a long time to heat up, whereas this is instant, and you only need like 3 to 5 seconds on each terminal. It does a wonderful job. So you can't beat the Weller as far as soldering. Alright, let's clean this up and have a look. Okay, we called over final inspection and they gave it the green light. We had a little ball in between 3 and 4, not a bridge, just a little runaway. So that's been cleaned. Alright, we're good to go here. Ready for testing. I did make a mental note. I wanted to test the ESR of some of these capacitors with the chip out, but that slipped my mind, so I may test real quick. Okay, it's near impossible, even with a bright light, to see those capacitors through the board during the day, so we're just going to hit it here and look at those on the schematic and take it from there. Power on, we'll go with a cassette. I do have an input on the Bluetooth back there, but we'll just use the cassette for the moment. So power up. I'm going to hit play, and still no right channel. It's in the meter though. Well, I've really never seen this before. It's always the chip, but there's our that's our left channel. Nothing on the right. Right is completely dead. Still. Oh, let's get a look at this IC again. Okay, our VCC is 8 and 9 with a 100 ohm resistor between the two. And looks like one capacitor there from the right channel to ground. That's like this one right here. So 8 and 9 with 100 ohm. This capacitor here. Now this one shows 2. Our schematic has, maybe it has 2. Looks like they just did the 1. Okay, I did put a shot of cleaner in the headphone jack, but it might be something as simple as a headphone jack. But let me show you how far we've gotten. I have the left speaker playing lightly, and that's pin 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And here's our test speaker here. Listen along if you shall here. So 1, 2, 3. Voltages are fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. It's very quiet. You can't hear it. But 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me mute the. Let's go to the right channel, which is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we have sound. So we have it there. have it there. I don't have it on the other side here, which I don't know what this component is. So we're losing it somewhere. It's here. The good news is we don't have to deal with the chip, but we have to find where it's on the positive side. And again, I was saying headphone jack. I'll get a set of headphones and we're going to check it there next. Now you've seen it all. While I was doing the probing, I hit this next pin, blew the main fuse, but it blows again. So we took something out. Hope it's not the new chip, but we have a short now. Alright, so let's review real quick. While I was probing the chip for signal, I hit one of the plus or minus supplies or something to ground through the speaker, and it didn't like that at all. Gone through 2 power fuses, so that goes right to the bridge rectifier, which I don't believe would be shorted. I'm going to have to remove the VCC, which is pin 8 and 9, and we're going to do 4 and I believe 12 and 5, which is the minus supply. So we probably wiped out our brand new chip. I took the bridge out to test it. It's not the bridge. I have the bridge out. On the fly I made a dim bulb tester, 100-watt bulb, and I can apply power, and of course it's only the dial lights, but the rest of the set's not running. But the chip is disconnected. It doesn't appear shorted, so on the journey goes. Okay, I think it's the chip because that's the only thing I have disconnected. I'm on a dim bulb, and I'm going to hit the power here. The fuse does not blow, and we're able to play cassette. I don't see anything on the meters though. Record level, no, it'll play. Let me get switch to tape here. Alright, we have indicators. Looks like we wiped our chip out, although it doesn't read shorted. Oh, I hate to put the old one back in, I really do, after all that. Okay, the chip's not connected, but let's just check the supply to the chip here, okay? Not short anything out this time. Minus 22. That feeds those two. And then this one here, I'll stay away from the chip, positive 22. So looks like our chip is lunched here. I gotta say, there's nothing like doing something twice. And it wasn't because we were in a rush or anything. Like they say, there's never time to do it right the first time, but there's always time to do it right the second time. Anyway, we'll take him out, and I will stick the old one back in. I'll try to do this one hand, but the short lies between pins 5 and 6. Well, it's not 5 and 6, counting from the other end, so it's 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 16, 15, 14, 13. Well, you take my word for it here. Let me set you down. This one here, shorted. This one here, it's like 1K, 1. Anyway, yeah, the chip's bad. Oh well. Okay, why did I put the old chip back in? Let's review here. I just tacked it in. It's a pain getting all 16 legs in at the same time. It's just tacked in. I just want to see if we're back to where we were, and I want to see if I get the right channel on that other pin of the chip. Maybe this chip is okay. Well, now we're going to find out. Hopefully, I'm on tape. Let's go AM to start things off. We're on the 100-watt bulb. Power. Oh, power and power. Alright. And we have just left channel. Okay. So back to tape. Okay, now we're gonna test like we did before without shorting anything out. Okay, where we were before we had the wardrobe malfunction there was, I was testing here. This is left, so right channel. Nothing on 10. But I had something on, was it 11? I honestly don't recall. Pin 10. Is that on the other side of this 33K? Pin 15? Let me look at the schematic. So, the right channel is putting out on this chip. This chip is not bad. Left over there. And right over here. If I go right off the chip and don't short it out this time. So the chip is good, so we're losing it from pin 10. It's working. Both channels. I wonder if you get a hit on the music. It's all over the place. So, I'm happy with this. I'm going to stop here. Okay, these guys for some reason take their output off of 11 and it goes to the headphone jack. So we're zooming in on this. It's either the headphone jack or the speaker switch. I'm saying the headphone jack. I gave it a shot, but I should have given it more. So they're going off 11 here, which is the other side of this 0.33. But on here, I don't even know if you can see that. 11, yeah, they have a 0.36 at 1 watt. So that's where they're going off of, right at the positive of this 2547. And it goes down right to the headphone jack. So let's get a set of headphones. I have to take this off as I'll get a hit or something. But as you can see, I got right and left in the headphones. So the headphones work. Both channels. So let's reattach the speaker and see what's going on. Speaker switch. Okay, I'm on the B set of the speakers and no sound. It's looking more and more like the headphone jack, folks. Okay, I just have it on AM hash, but I'm poking around. I have a plastic tool in and around the headphone jack, and I've massaged it. And we have a poor connection over here, and of course you can't get to it, but you can hear it. That's the headphone jack. That's right channel, left channel. Let's go to tape a minute. Right channel, there's our right channel. So it's something. See, I'm just moving there's a poor solder on that headphone jack, or I'm going to try to get some juice in there. I'm in there, I'm just on the side of the headphone jack. I have both channels. Should have caught that a little earlier, but anyway. Left channel, right, left. Alright. Can't let that go, I'll probably get a hit. Alright, that's going to do it for this segment. Okay, I'm going to say the tape player is playing a lot better as it runs. I shot a shot in the switch. I massaged the board a little bit. I still think it may be a connection on the board. I don't know. You can't get to it. It would have to be inspected. Anyway, there's our right channel, left channel, right channel on the speakers. Plug the phones in, speakers off. Left, right in the phones. Pull the phones out. Leave it on right. Pull the phones out. There it is. Phones in, pull it out. Maybe the deoxit did it. Alright, we're going to stop there. And Wait for the radio parts to come. We tune over to AM. AM.
Gotta get about 55,000 to 60,000
AM.
signatures.
FM. Still dead. Completely quiet. And that's something in there. FM, same thing. There it is. Oh. Signal meter, stereo, can't see. Let's go to FM auto. And we have stereo light. So it's a connection in the tuner. I'm just moving the test point actually. Something in the tuner, see? Okay. So I think we're about ready to call this a wrap. I pushed down harder on that test point there and the board like snapped like it was shorting out against the case or something, and it's good now. FM, stereo.
Around the world.
We're rocking. Signal meter. I'm good. Solder that chip up. Put the belt in. AM. Not a lot of AM in here, but
Go to every time you fill up your gas tank. And so when new homes
so
what's
tape.
gonna happen? We're gonna lose jobs. What's gonna
Meters.
We're gonna be out the
AM.
door pretty quick.
FM. That's it. I think that might do it. I'll maybe do a little finish up, but that's the Panasonic RA-7500. Needed everything clean. The switch didn't power on. The tape player is getting better as it's used. We have belts on order. The headphone jack dirty. Blew a brand new IC, but sacrificed itself for the purposes of testing, and we have both channels. Okay, another update. We're going to wrap this up. Not done yet. Tapping around the tuner, getting it to play. Blew another fuse. There's a short in there somewhere. There's something rolling around in there, shorting out. So if I go back to FM, I have AM.
Portable.
Okay.
People.
If I go to FM, I try to tune something. I'm on the safety here. See if I can get it to play, but it's gonna short out. It hums, and it's something shorting out in here. See the bulb? Oh, see, there's something shorting out in here. Yep, see, the short's back. The dim bulb tester was the savior this time. Keep tapping it. I shouldn't keep trying it. And I know when to say when here. There's something shorting. I want to keep trying it. Oh, no. Too much. There's something in this tuner. I'm just going to have to go in here. Okay, before I kill this thing off, I better quit while I'm ahead. Yeah, the dead FM. There's a short in the FM here, so that'll be next. Oh, see? This is so bizarre. It has an intermittent short. Maybe it isn't the tuner. I shouldn't keep playing with it. Hit play. See, if I hit play on the cassette player now, it goes berserk. I don't understand what's going on here. It's really strange. This thing is bizarre. It's got a short somewhere, and the light bulb will light up like crazy. Now I have the tape playing. I think I'm gonna quit here. I keep saying that and I keep screwing with it. I don't know if it's a short in the front here. I'll go to AM. I go back to tape and it'll might flip out. That sounds awful though. It's almost like the switch has a short in it here. I had the FM though. This is crazy. Tape. No, see, it's got something in the front. This is stranger than fiction, this thing. Now it's, see? Now it's okay. My word. It's hard to do one-handed, but there's something around this area. If you just touch it, it goes berserk. Something with this board. Okay, we're back. No FM. Go to the dial. I'm going to wrap it up here before I blow it up. Leave that there. Massage this a little. You'll see the light stop flickering. And there's my tuning. Oh, and it starts shorting out. Oh, no. Something, man, there's something. There's got to be something inside this tuner. Before I ruin it. You keep playing with it, the short comes and goes. It's something. You go back to AM. Tape. Something's shorting out. And it's in here. Oh, see? Alright. Stop. We gotta get in this tuner. We gotta look around. Okay, that's enough. Okay, another day. Where we left off with the Panasonic. There's a short in this somewhere. Before we go on, some more parts have come in. The belts for the... I ordered two, because we have two tape players now. And the transistors for the front end. However, as you've seen, I don't think these are the problem. So these are some high frequency mixer transistors. Okay. So all of a sudden it was working. We had FM stereo, the whole 9 yards, both channels, and then I came out a short time later to demonstrate and the FM was dead. I massaged it again and it shorted out all the... That's why I'm back to the dim bulb. I've gone through 3 main power fuses, and that's not good, because there could be a short anywhere and you would be hard pressed to find it. Like this, we're going to find it. Again, I'm going back to the tuner. I'm almost thinking the tuner or the switches in the front have tin whiskers or something, because they are surrounded in metal. They are surrounded in metal there. And it's oxidized. This is the oxidation model. So something. I don't know which power supply is shorting out. It could be in the switch bank down there. Which this thing is so compact. In there you can see the switches are all in metal. And is there something floating around in there? I'd like to blow that out with compressed air for starters. But the tuner, again, very shaky. You just tap it and it started running and started shorting out. So we've got to get in here again. So I'm just going to stare at this. I could flex the board on the bottom though, and it would also short. So I'm just going to have a look around. Of course, to get the tuner out, you have to take the dial string wheel off, which I marked. So I'll have to slide that off and tape this string where it is, because we don't want to lose that. Another thing I noted, which I could use in a troubleshooting process, is the B+. I could remove the B+ from the tuner. I made a note. That's 7 at L105. So that's right 6-7 they call it, right here, L105. That line is the B+. I could disconnect that. And I'd like to see where that comes from supply-wise. Is that on the 23 volts? That's up here. This is what we're looking at. It's so small. It's right here. I'll follow it down. It comes down over here, up there. 47 ohm, AM FM switch. Here, down, over, back over here. Test point. Let me look at this a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, but that's where I derive the B+ from. This circuit is so hard to see even online. Printed is even worse. It's almost illegible. But it's one of these sets, and it comes down to the 4 corresponding points on the, call it the motherboard or whatever you want to call it. So it's kind of behind the phono switch right there, which phono is right here. So it's like those right there. It's number 7 down there. 67. So I may undo that and see if this thing shorts out or doesn't short out. Okay. Hopefully with the tuner disconnected now, we won't have any of that short circuit business. So I've got the dim bulb down to a 60 watt power switch right here, and let's see what happens. I might man the headphones because I took the speakers off. I'll know just by hearing whether or not it's... Yeah, I've got nothing there. I am on. I am plugged in. I have a bad bulb here. Back to the 100. Yeah, it's shorted a little bit, but it's not shorted. There's still something here though. It's I'm going to do a little poking around, but it's still crispy. Okay, there's still something crispy in the tuner, so I'm going to continue and disconnect the rest of these leads here. There's 2 here, they go in the back, and these ones up front here. Okay, every one of those is disconnected from the circuit, and the 2 in the back are just the antenna inputs, but I've marked them and disconnected them as well, so I'm going to try it again. When I poke around the middle of the board, there's something else shorting, and it's in the middle. It's in here somewhere, or it's just, I've got to keep poking around, but something's making this bulb light up, and it doesn't sound good in the speakers either. There's something around this Dolby, this tape player. This switch here I haven't hit. We'll play around a little more. It's on. It's still partially shorting there. If you just tap around, it'll go away. oddest thing. No blown fuses yet. So the tuner removal helped, but this thing is still has something. And this board here is where our right channel issue is. I don't know if these Dolby circuits you can hear in the headphones aren't soldered properly. They're and I seem to recall if one of those, whether you use Dolby or not, they have to go through those chips. You won't get any sound. But we were getting sound on the preamp side. It was the output side, but it's still bizarre what's going on here. It's playing well, both channels, but there's an intermittent connection. And if I think I'm just getting the tape deck static, but it's still, I can create a short of sorts on this main board, I'll call it again. I don't want to keep doing it. I think this intermediate board, the preamp has to come out. Let's go back to the tuner. So here we are in the tuner now. And I've discovered just what I thought. I'll check the ribbon connections, but no, every ground on that board is broken. Every ground. I'll zoom in. I don't know, maybe you can see them here. Let me get the light. I'll just zoom in. Every ground is broken. There's one right there. They all look like that. That one. That one. And another one here. They're all broken. The whole board's not even connected. No wonder why it wasn't working. The part they don't want you to get into, well, it's, you know, it's soldered shut. I'm going to tack this up, throw this thing back in here, hopefully quickly, maybe. One component right there, it's not even soldered from the factory. Now look at it close. There's nothing there. And this is where you need the gun. This is the 8200 with the nuts, not the new style. These are still available, but not as good as the vintage ones. There are bigger ones than this. This is the 140 watt, and that's perfect for this chassis work. So there we go, all four. Lovely soldered, and I soldered the components, and we'll check some others, but that's it. I'm getting in and out of here. Okay, I'm not going crazy tacking this can back on, but I did tack all the connections. I'll clean the flux off, and I'll get ready to put this back in. Okay, tuner's back in mounted. The holes are lined up exactly where they were. Got the wires in the holes. We're going to undo the dial string here, because we had to anchor it while we had the wheel off. And we're good to go here. We're ready for testing. Okay, the connections for the tuner are back. I checked, there's no bridging. I'll clean the flux off momentarily. There's our antenna inputs. We'll flip it over and power it up, see how we do. Okay, we're ready. No one's been disturbed. We checked our connections. Everybody's mounted properly. Ground's attached. Nothing shorting. Okay, power's on here. I'm on the headphones. I don't know if I'm going to do the speakers. I just want to see if the tuner works. Contact. No shorts. I'm on auxiliary. Tape. FM. I'm wide open here. Okay. Yeah, we have signal. I don't have stereo though. There we go. working. Of course, it's solid. I have FM antenna in here. Okay, good. FM, AM. A good signal. Both channels. Alright, I'll try with speakers quickly. Okay, this time we're on speakers. I'm going direct. Powering on here. I'm powering on here. Volume down. See, there's still some. Is that the right channel? No, that's both channels. I don't know what that noise is. Switches still. It's mono, stereo. I don't like.
Hey y'all, this your girl Cheryl Underwood. Tell you something, my digestive system used to make me feel sluggish, but those days are over. Now I feel great. That's because I increased my fiber intake with the Metamucil 2-week challenge, and I'm still hooked. I just took Metamucil every day for 14 days, and it's really that easy. Metamucil traps and removes the weight you down, so you feel lighter and more energetic. Now I never want to go back to that heavy feeling. Are you ready for the Metamucil 2-week challenge for a cute?
I don't know what causes that. I'm still gonna look into that. Anyway you touch, there's still something. I think it's this board here.
Okay, so this bike feels like he's capable of a little more than just trips to the convenience store.
We have both channels.
Also, he wants to let you know that you can buy a gallon of ice cream.
And these Dolby circuits here, those caps, you can see the green. They have to. This board's next. I'm afraid.
But the way you said it was super
Maybe when we do the belts. This board needs to be inspected next. I'm going to stop here while I'm ahead. Let's turn the lights off. Get the look here.
They just gave us all a new iPhone 13.
So we both got the same great deal.
Yep.
Get iPhone 13 on us with
Okay.
select trade-in and 5G unlimited plans.
I'm going to stop for now. Let's go to the tape a second.
To show the love.
See, I don't like that. I don't like that. See, it flips out. I don't like that. Why? There's something wrong. There's something still in this thing. And then the tape starts playing, behaving normally. I did put it back on the dim bulb. I think I should quit here. There's something still awry in this section. See, there's still something here. Bad grounds. I'm not going to touch it. Oh, see, you disturb it, you drive it crazy. Let's go back to FM.
Find the one you can't live without.
And that first step
I'd like to help. Refinancing your auto loan with IC can lower your interest rate, monthly
Really
payment
good.
for both. It's fast,
Really
easy,
good if
and
we
could
get
mean
the
more money staying
few
in your
remaining
pocket every
bugs out of it. Really good if we get the last few remaining bugs out of it.
ICCreditUnion.org.
Just connections, I think. But it's enough to upset it to blow the fuse if you... If it must go into a runaway or... It's something.
And stay healthy.
Both channels.
I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage, the world's only...
So far, it's been correct that this has needed nothing. This has needed nothing.
Ear, nose, and throat specialist.
Most airborne
It's just
allergens and
connections,
viruses enter
and
through your nose.
I
When
love the
that
meters.
happens, it can cause congestion and irritation, and that just makes you feel miserable. You can
Tuning
get
meter
cold.
works well. Again, I'm out here. I don't have an FM antenna. I do, but it's doing well. Very good. Almost stereo all along the dial, and there isn't much of an antenna here. I'm pleased with it. I can just get the final few bugs out of it. We could wrap things up here. And that's 96.1, and that's right on. The most tuning on the meter is works really good. Oh my god.
The morning show, I'm Zito.
I think I just saw that guy Zito. He's a comedian. So something's touchy in here. There's a bad ground on that center board, this board. You upset anything here, you cause havoc. I'll try to go back to tape gently. See? Sometimes perfect, other times it goes berserk. See? Okay, that's it for now.